doesn't help in any case. So what you're doing, I do not see the point where this will help the citizens.
I can give you a case. A month ago, I have been to a monitoring center in Warsaw, Central Monitoring Center. There are about 30 people trying to follow every camera in the city. It is really practically impossible. After 1 hour, you are not capable to follow it.
There are too many cameras, it means.
Yeah.
Too many cameras.
But they have many helpers by the ICE system.
Well, this is a political discussion, but the question of INDECT is... Yes.
Yeah, but this project is political. It's a political project.
No, I think that some people try to make it political. We are. I am not.
Yes, the citizens make this. Two questions.
Okay, everyone, shut up. And only speak if you have one of the microphones. This is either this, or this, or this. Okay? Or that one behind, but wait a second. Actually, it's your turn anyways.
Okay. I think actually you're quite good at obfuscating here, but you did not answer the initial question so far. What is it you're going to achieve with your project? Because all I've may some details be inaccurate or not, having drones flying around, filming people, having their faces recognized and all that, I'm pretty sure in the light of the latest decisions of the Constitutional Court of Germany, if there would be any law implementing this later, it would be ripped to shreds by the Constitutional Court. And so what is the real purpose of this research, if not implementing any of these structures, which most probably will not be on any legal base in the near future in Europe? No, so what are your intentions?
Even in the presentation, it was stated that there are plans to change the law in Great Britain, for instance, for Olympic Games.
Yeah, but you cannot change the law in Germany or, say, Romania when the Constitutional Court outlawed the whole principle already.
Obviously, application of any tool is dependent on local regulations or European regulations. I agree with you. But for instance, in Northern Ireland, they are especially interested in drones.
Well, who is interested in drones?
PSNI, Police Service of Northern Ireland.
Not the citizens.
That's a citizen, yes.
Are you citizens of Northern Ireland?
No, but I was born in Romania, so maybe it sounds about.
Okay, I guess it is explanation.
Speak about.
Well, as I said, there are countries that such tools could be implemented. Well, I don't deny that some regulations forbid usage of some parts of tools or tools in different countries in Europe. I agree.
You don't think you can install any of this in all of the European countries, which would be necessary?
Well, it can be implemented at least at some European countries, like in Northern Ireland, well, in United Kingdom.
So we're back in the political discussion then, who wants that?
Yeah.
I think it's a question to ask first before you start implementing those technologies.
Who wants that? Well, we will laugh again. In the case of drones, Police Service of Northern Ireland wants it.
One more question. One more question. We have a problem. We do not know if you hide something or not. We have documents like DO.5 of the ethical board. You write there that we need to hide stuff. Then we have the Commission of the EU. There the Commission answers no, nothing is hidden. So, which is the right one?
Well, documents that should be public are public. So no.
Which is the right answer? Is the EU Commission right, or is this right, what you are writing in your documents?
I don't see the contradiction. That means public documents are public. That's it. Well, I would like to underline that we are a research project. We are not politicians. We are technical people. And I'm not comfortable really answering questions concerning politics or policy.
Yeah. The thing about the political discussion is this research will have a political impact. So I think we have to lead this political discussion. Yeah. That's basically all I want to say.
I agree that it is big issues for political discussions, but it should be discussed with European Commission, not with researchers, believe me. We are doing research which is interesting for us and that can be useful, we believe, for some end users. That is not abstract research. I agree that there are issues to be discussed politically, but we are not the right target. And I feel like target now, sorry.
Yeah, I think you're absolutely right. This discussion is a political discussion. It has to be held in Brussels or elsewhere on the political level, not with researchers. I think actually for us it's a waste of time to discuss with you because that's the way these discussions always end up. I've had this before with some other researchers from INDECT, and in the end they just were saying, we are just doing research, we are not making political discussions about how and if this stuff will be used later, and if it's constitutional, whatever. I mean, they can't judge this. They're technicians. They're not constitutional lawyers. So in the end, actually, those guys, they were also from a Polish university, they said, well, but if you look at the Lord of the Rings, nobody was beating up the dwarfs just because they made this ring, you know. And then it was pretty ironic, because at that moment, I've read that book a couple of times, and at that moment I realized the whole story of the Lord of the Rings is a story about how to get rid of a technology of control once it is already out there in the world. How to get rid of that. That's the story of the Lord of the Rings. But I think the discussion about INDECT we should be clear about what we want to achieve here. And that wasn't really clear from your last slides also. Do we want to kill the project? I think it's too late. They have the contracts with the Commission, they have employed people, they have a right to get their salary also next year, and so on and so on. Or do we want to use the project for a larger debate on the surveillance industrial complex and on the whole political question of where should EU taxpayers' money go in terms of research funding? And that's a much larger debate, and I think INDECT is just one hook to get there.
It's only
but
one
we need to broaden it much further.
Of a big puzzle. Yes, we are a little bit helpless. At the moment, we are 2 persons in our group who concern INDECT, so we need some support.
There are other groups who have been working on this already. Yeah. The ACLU has published a report in 2004 on the surveillance industrial complex. Yeah. The State Watch has produced this really cool Neo-Cornopticon report last year, and they have a blog on this. And there's a recent research paper from the European Parliament political division on the general direction of EU research funding in security politics and so on. So there's lots of people already active in this. At the moment, there's a written declaration going on in the European Parliament where people are asking for more information about INDECT. So it's not just the 2 of you. There are already many more people
we are not
involved.
the only one in the world. This is true, but in our organization we are at the moment too.
Well, just by the way, it makes me wondering why INDECT is such a target, because it's not the first time that there's presentation on INDECT and shooting at INDECT. There are 60 other projects. Well, I know that in Germany there are very interesting projects in the same area, very close to INDECT, but it's only INDECT that's of interest. I don't know
why. No, that is not true, but
I think, well, it's true.
We make the choice of INDECT because you combine a lot of surveying technologies. So
well, there are other big projects, I assure you.
Okay. How do you ensure that the information that is being collected is not being abused, and what right do the people who have that information collected about them have to access their own data about them?
Well, it's a general question. You can ask it to any police services. How do you assure that the data you collect is not corrupted? We developed some tools for protecting privacy of information, like my colleague here, Avocorus, he's developing a very interesting tool for hiding faces of people in the recordings of CCTV cameras. That means operator would not see the face until something happens. Before then, he will not be able to recognize the face or see the face. It will be protected with watermarking, with keys that will be only used when really something dangerous happens. That means such information would not be corrupted but by an authorized person.
So you aren't identifying a singular person and following them around?
No, you don't need to identify person. You just identify the part of the picture where is a face, any face, and this is hidden.
Then why do you have facial recognition?
We don't. For this purpose, we don't need to have. There are two things: recognition that there is a face, and the recognition that the face that is on the picture is the face that we are looking for. So there are two different things. I'm talking about the first one. That means recognizing that there is a face on the picture and we are hiding. And
I have a comment to what you were saying and to the whole debate, because you come as a scientist and you claim, yeah, well, it's not a political issue which regards me because I'm a scientist, I'm only doing research. I totally disagree with this as a scientist.
I didn't say that.
Let's put it that way. You touch something which is absolutely personal information to someone. So how could you imagine just claiming, oh, well, I'm only doing research, that's political, you just go and check it with the European Parliament. That's totally unacceptable. You cannot just throw away that kind of responsibility.
No, well, the example that I have given is an example that we don't push the problem away.
You do. I mean, all the time you were trying to push the thing like, okay, go and discuss this with the politicians because it's a political issue.
But you are talking to me, to projects, or to all the people who are involved in security research?
Well, I'm talking to you now because you are now here.
Okay, thank you.
It's not personal attack, but it's an attack from a scientist to a scientist, because you, as a scientist, you claim that it's not your responsibility to do research on personal data.
No, we take it into consideration, but we are not enforced to produce legal protection for...
I'm not talking about legal protection. I'm a medical scientist. What will happen if I'm making cancer research and I tell you, oh, well, you know, it's a political issue if someone dies. It's not my problem even if I conceive the treatment.
Well,
it's exactly the same situation.
But I didn't say that it is not of interest to us. It is.
The topic is, yeah, okay. I will just move on. So the other question is, well, nobody can apparently decide whether the information is corrupted or not. So the duration of your research is 5 years. It will produce results or not, that's not very clear, apparently. But what will happen with all the personal data you have gathered during those 5 years?
We don't gather public information. We only gather, If we make trials, for instance, at our department. So everybody in our department signs agreement. I agree to use my face. I agree to use